Hi, Georgian Heights gardeners. This is Miss Victoria. I'm here today with you to do a little bit of seed saving and then to take those seeds and do some planting. So some of the seeds we'll be able to save and use in the future, and then some we'll actually do some planting with. So today Miss Victoria has a couple of different things that we're going to talk about. I got these both from the raised beds at school. So last spring, the kindergarten and the preschool planted radishes and lettuce, and over the summer those plants went to seed. So they dried up and then they went to seed. So we are going to save the seeds that we planted last year, the lettuce and the radishes, and then we're going to use those for planting. So these are pods from a radish plant. So you can see there's like little pods there, and when we open up the pod, then inside there are some seeds. So I'm just going to open one of these up, and then I'm going to show you the seeds that are inside. You have to kind of be careful as you open it, and then you can see the seeds inside. Okay, so here are some of the seeds from the pods that you get. And those are the radish seeds. Okay, so and then the other part of the pod you can just discard. There's another one of the seeds. You can just discard that. So each of these pods have a couple of seeds, and they may vary, and they may have like 2 or 3, or it may just have one. Some of them may not have any in them. So that's kind of fun to just see how many pods you have in, or how many seeds you have in your pod. So that's the radish. Then we have some lettuce that we had at school, and so these are the seeds, the little pods that that dried up from that plant. And you can see at the end of each one, there's just like a little tiny pod. These are obviously much smaller. So you can just pull off one of the pods, and when you open it up, these seeds are very small. So if you look here, this is a pod, and inside the pod, these are the lettuce seeds. So they're very tiny, so you have to be very careful when you open it up. And then you can discard the rest of the pod that you don't need. So that is some lettuce seeds. And then for fun, I also have some marigold seeds. So this was the marigold flower, and it's dried up. And then when I opened it up, you can see here all of the seeds. Each one of these is a seed that you can plant. And then from each one of those seeds, you get a marigold flower. And if you want to follow me over here, I'll show you right here what they look like. So each one of those seeds can produce a whole flower. This is just one seed that produced this plant. Okay. So once you have gone through your pods and you have done your seed saving, then these seeds can be put into like a little envelope. You don't want to put them in plastic because you don't want them to get moisture and to mold. So it's better to put it in a little paper envelope, and you could just write on the outside the year and what's inside if you have any left over. If not, that's fine too if you just use them all for planting. So today I'm just going to show you these, both lettuce and radish seeds can be planted about 1 inch apart. And then you want the rows to be about 1 foot apart. So if you look down here, you can see that Miss Victoria has, I have some Swiss chard. So I have the seeds that were planted, and then you can see between the rows that there's maybe not quite that far apart, not quite 1 foot, but just a little bit under 1 foot. So you're just gonna take a little hand shovel, and you're going to just make a little bit of a trench there, just about 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep. Doesn't have to be very deep. And then you can take your radish seeds, and then you're just going to drop them in about 1 inch apart all the way down. And you can do a radish row, and then you can do a lettuce row. So you can do a little bit of both. You don't have to do radishes, but you can do both. Again, with the lettuce seeds, you're just gonna put them in about every inch, and they're very small, so it's gonna take a steady hand and some good pincher fingers to be able to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions as you're doing your planting or your seed saving, your teacher can reach me through email, and I'd be glad to help in any way that I can. Happy planting!